Five reasons men are completely invincible to women. Now, I want you to take these five reasons and take the solutions you hear from me because at some point, I was once in your shoes where I felt invincible. I was being complimented for my height, but past my height, there was nothing else. But guess what? Fast forward to a few years right now, I've been able to solve it for myself, and hopefully these things are going to work for you, right? Number one is you have zero appeal, zero physical appeal. So this is how I'm going to be taking it, right? I'll take it from the way women see you down to something else that is very important. So what that means is I'll be going from the least important to the most important. Number one most important thing is the way you look, right? Ask yourself, did you put in any effort to actually look better than what nature gives to you? There's a high chance it's no. See, as a man, if you have nothing that makes you stand out, you see, when women look into the open space, right? If nothing stands out, they go back to their phone. If a woman is pressing her phone, she raises her head up, she sees about 1,000 people pass her. If no man stands out, she goes back to her phone. That's the way their brain operates. Even though you have nothing that makes you stand out, if you approach her, guess what? She will feel irritated, right? And this thing is not supposed to be a way of you insulting them. It's a way of you understanding that as a man, literally, you have to be intentional about having like a proper appeal, a proper physical appeal. So what do? Dress well, look good, like actually treat yourself well. Be very intentional about your looks. Now, there's a slight problem here because a lot of guys they try to do what is called looks maxing. But let's be very, very frank. A lot of the guys I see doing looks maxing, sometimes they come off as gay to me. Yeah, apologies, but they come out as gay to me. Not as an insulting way, but they end up looking like feminine men. That's not what I wanted to achieve because feminine men work for a very select age group of women. But the one that will make you most attractive to most women is the masculine look. But guess what? You don't get that look by accident. So the best advice here is even though you may not have all the money to look good, fucking go to the gym. Build muscles. Building muscles alone will make a woman look in your direction. Now, you see, after a woman has looked in your direction, the second thing she would observe are your grooming. Again, you have to be intentional here. And if you hear me very well, I'm not asking you to do the most because there's a sweet spot, right, that you have to figure out. I'll get to that sweet spot very, very soon if you stay to the end. By the way, if you like a video like this, feel free to share with somebody who you know find it helpful. Such kind of actions will make the channel grow and through word of mouth, I'll get to know that I am helping more men down the line. So let's get right to it. So what? Your grooming techniques. You see, you have to master the basics of grooming. When the woman looks at you, she's asking herself, like, okay, what's making this guy perfect? Trust me, women are very hard to satisfy, but guess what? They are much more bothered about imperfections. You might be very attractive, but if you have like food, debris in your teeth, it could be a big turn off for them. If your eyebrows are not carved in a certain way, it could be a big turn off for them. So how do you groom it? Like, fucking clean your face. Have a decent skincare routine. At the same time, what I tell guys is if you want to maximize your looks, do it without damaging your hormones. Because basically, most of those skincare routines, most of these artificial skincare routines, they have chemicals that will damage your testosterone in the long term. So go for something that is much more natural and much more safe. Again, your grooming techniques, try to smell nice. Always aim to stand out because literally, let me explain something to you as a man. Even though even though the world tries to gaslight you as a man, let me tell you something. You see, women were born equal, right? All that means is what you can get from a woman, here, you can easily get it from another woman elsewhere. So guess what? But instead, when we talk to them, we have to tell them how unique they are. Because they know by innate they are not unique. All that means is when we are talking to them, we have to make them feel like they are unique. But here's the magic. As a man, you are actually supposed to be unique. Like genuinely, what I mean unique is as a man, you're supposed to have traits, right? Now other men don't really have. What that means is you have to go and figure out what your game is. You don't focus on just your dressing. Would your dressing be your game? But the point is something has to make you stand out as a man. And literally, but guess what? The whole world wants to bash you with other men to make you feel like you're not unique, you're worthless, you're disposable, right? That's the irony of the whole world. That men are actually unique. Like I bet you, like if you actually make your standing out being intentional, you get to realize this thing. That truly, if this is where you understand this philosophy more when you get into the idea of becoming a well-rounded man. A well-rounded man is so unique that whenever women come in contact with a well-rounded man, like nothing else seems to make sense to her anymore. The money is there, the confidence is there, the social life, the looks, everything is just there because you have leveled up. And these are things you do when you level up by yourself. You see, the third thing, this is where it gets very interesting. Remember when I said when anyone looks in your direction, first of all, she sees your frame, your body, your face, everything. So if you have a manly physique, you stand out. Good. She's observing your grooming. Okay, see his hair, his teeth, his mouth, his clothes are smooth. Okay, he looks good. Okay, next thing now is what? His body language. Very important because most guys these days, they basically have the same body language. Lazy, defeated, weak. Now ask yourself, what does your body language feel like? There's a reason that even like I've said, even there are guys who are at the gym today, and I feel like the gym culture has completely lost it. You see, guys, it's almost like a lot of weak men have filled up the gym where I feel like, what the fuck is going on here at this gym? Yes, I know boys used to go from boys to men at the gym, but these days it feels like we have poured in too many influencers and too many gimmicks into the gym that people are looking for short-term solutions. Back in the days, Jimmy was not a quick hack to get girls. Jimmy was a way of life. But these days, I don't know what's going on. But back to it is. You see, your body language tells a lot about you. You see, women rely more on the things that you don't say than the things that you say. I know obviously they hear the things you say, but you see what is called non-verbal communication. Women are very good at it. When you approach a woman and basically you are jittering, she will know. This guy, what's wrong? Why are you afraid? Why can't you speak up? Why aren't you manly? You see, and I'll basically tell you how I was able to solve mine, right? And mine was never really an intentional goal to solve, per se. And this is it. I would say I used to want to be in the army, right? I used to want to be in the army. And over here in the Nigerian army, there's a way these soldiers work. So there's a way I do the soldier work that whenever I walk up to anybody, right, if I'm talking to people, even the people observe, because then again, like I said, people complimented me for my height, but nothing more than my height. But simply because of the way I walk, caused attention to be drawn towards me. If you ever watch my vlogs and you see me walk, right, just walk, you get to see that the way I walk, and the way I walk it works with power. Why? Body language. And this happens when I'm like upbeat in my head. Like, so for example, is I have different works that I do. I have the work of a boss. I have the work of a soldier. I have the work of a fighter. It depends on what story is currently going on in my head. Literally, what that means is I never set up a goal to fix my work, but the moment I'm reading that story of I'm a fighter, the script in my head begins to play that I'm a fighter. And guess what? I am walking like one. There's the day I was walking like a ninja at the gym. Like one babe was like the way you walk feels somewhat different. It feels like I'm cocky and proud. And you see, that's a compliment. When women feel like you're cocky and proud, means that there is a vibe that you walk with. There's a way that you walk that you're bringing in proper energy. Like I said, I didn't do this to show off. I'm out there visualizing what ninjas do. I'm out there visualizing strikes, visualizing grappling. But guess what? They're out there doing the full calculation. These are things that you get when you fix your body language. And the number four is what? Your energy. Have you ever heard of the idea of a big dick energy before? What do you think it feels like? Do you think a big dick energy is calm, is dead, is docile? No. It's calm, quite alright, right? But it's powerful regardless. And like I said, so women are tuned more to their intuition than logic. So a woman feels your energy even from the things you say and the things you don't say. I mean, your body posture can reveal a lot, right? But the energy you work with is very important. And I noticed this when I became very, very free with women. Like when I walk to women, sometimes some women I would invade their space, right? Well, this is normally when you talk to women, you have to give like you ask to give like some space. I'll come very close, ridiculously close. The whole idea is it makes them ask, who the fuck is this guy? What kind of energy do you come up with? Like, so when my guys ask me, and all the things I do, I don't do them as a way of getting attention, right? Like, for example, my friends ask me, how do I say these things on social media, my short form content, and still have a lot of girls that I talk to? I say, I don't know. it comes down from it comes down to the energy. Like I have girls who I'm with who are sharing my video. Again, because they know that I'm not misogynistic. Now, if you look at any of your top gurus, look at the energy they go out with. There's a reason. You may hate him, or you may hate him or not. There's a reason people love Andrew Tate. The energy Andrew Tate brings to a situation is completely different. Again, I'll tell you something, right? For a man who knows how to fight and is quiet, like I said, it is energy, it is not bragging, it is energy. For a man who knows how to fight and is quiet, that quietness, that silence will speak more for him than a man who cannot fight but is making noise. There is, again, the energy you give. There's a way you give. There's a way you give your calm energy that people would respect you. People would want to be with you if you give up the right energy. But what happens is this, and now the story to good energy is what? The story in your head. What story are you telling yourself? How do you see yourself basically? Like I said, any day, the way I walk and the energy I give depends on the story I am with at the current moment. I have had different stories in my head at different times. But I can tell you that the story in my head narrates what people are saying. And like I said, it was not intentional, just people just giving me that compliment. And you see, all this energy I'm talking about, you see, I relied a lot on what? Looks and what? Energy, because those are two real things. A lot of people focus on just the looks. Some people focus on just the energy, but guess what? You need both of them. It's like learning how to fight. There are people who say, oh, I'm a striker. There are people that say, oh, I'm a grappler. Guess what? The best are both. They know how to strike, they know how to grapple. So you as a man, if you actually want to stand out, you have to do the both. Focus on the looks and focus on what? The energy you give, your presence. You see, if you're talking to women here and you're not fully present, you see, if I have any advice when it comes to women is when you're talking to them, be very present. Like, trust me. And that's why, this is, I'll tell you something, right? You see, the rules that women have for good-looking guys are completely different from the rules they have for the average young guy. They are completely different. I'll tell you from a fact, from experience. I've experienced both ends. Right? On the left, if you're a young average man, guess what? You are seen to be this weak person who they can feel they want to gaslight and manipulate. On the other end, they see you as a man who is truly desired. And one thing you should realize is everything starts with you just being intentional about how you look and how you feel. How you feel about yourself. What that means is all these things I'm telling you to do, learn to do them for yourself. See yourself as carving out the man that you truly want to be. And by the way, I advise you to check out the whole idea of being a well-rounded man. Because a well-rounded man is a man actually that will win the dating scene that's coming up right now. The dating scene is already changing. And it's only the well-rounded men, right, who are there already to basically get the best women. And that means if you are not becoming a well-rounded man, up in your financial game, up in your social life, up in your spiritual life, up in your physique, what that means is no area of your life is left out completely. No area. You are leveling up in every area. Like I said, it's a mindset. And the more I walk out with this mindset, the more I see people stare at me. Now, the fifth and the most important point is for you to experiment. Find your style. You see, I can sit there for 40 minutes and give you a system. But guess what? That system will not work for you. You have to go out there. Obviously, there are places you can start from. But the point is, for everybody, there is a style. There is a game plan for each and everybody winning. Heck, I was an introvert, right? And I discovered this thing. One thing I to discover this. As an introvert, right? When you're becoming attractive, guess what? People start approaching you more. You begin to give this energy of mystery, this aura that who is this guy? He looks good, he is confident, he's very quiet. And let me give you something that will shock you, right? From my experience with women. You see, women would always prefer a guy who is introverted, who will never tell their secrets, and a guy who is loud-mouthed but good with women. If you can keep your mouth shut, right? Guess what? It gives you that aura of mystery. Women want to be with you because you listen more. And some women want to do some deep shit with you because they feel like you will never tell anybody. All this comes with what you have to experiment. You have to try out different clothes. Try out different clothes to find out what your style is going to be. Look for celebrities who you like, the way they walk, the way they talk, right? Consume their stuff. Be like them. Walk like them. Talk like them. Bounce like them. You obviously see this idea of having what? Having a what? Is it a virtual mentor? Or basically having a character you look up to is very powerful. Because those guys have come before you. Right? If you're walking like them, and it became very I started taking care of my work when I became serious with MMA. When they tell me how fighters work, they tell you how fighters talk. Listen to any fighter talk. The amount of confidence that they have is completely crazy. I'm very sure you've heard of what big dick energy. What do you think it means? Big dick energy is not loud. Big dick energy is not shy either. It is actually brute. It's actually there. They feel it strongly. Have you ever been with a woman and before you know it, she actually wants to rip you apart? That does not come from what your cheesy lines. It just comes from your depth of masculinity. You see, all these things I'm saying, right, are basically everything that are within your control. If you want, look for a way to increase your what? Your physical appeal, right? Dress well. Okay, to keep it simple, dress well, go to the gym to increase your physical appeal. So you're grooming, take care of the basics. Shower regularly, eat well, because your food does talk about your what? Your people underestimate this, but your food is also part of your grooming. Shave regularly. Stand out basically. Three is what? I spoke about body language. What does your body language say about you? Because it does say more than you expect. Even in sales, if you can fix your body language, it does affect you in sales. Four, your energy, right? If you can pick up your energy, because this is I'm talking about, they basically, I'll tell you something that people in business rely more on what they see than what you have to offer. And there's a reason that based on science, attractive people get paid more. I'm asking you, let's imagine women will know your motivation. Tell me, give me another reason why you don't want to be attractive, why you don't want to be intentional about your looks. The fifth one is experiment, right? And that's where you start from. Figure out who do you want to be like. Try out different styles of clothes. Try out different styles of walking, right? And by the way, that reminds me. Another reason I started walking with swag was what? Tristan Tate. If you look at the way he walks, you can tell that he walks like he's commanding attention. And that's where I got that idea of walking like a commander, like I command attention. Like I said, all my different work style always comes down to what I'm playing in my head. If I'm visualizing me as a fighter, I walk like one. If I'm visualizing me as a soldier, I walk like one. If I'm visualizing me as a boss, I walk like one. So everything I've said is just for you to basically up your game. My name is Tonore. I create content like this, right, to help young men basically level up, right, in looks, in mentality, and in their self-worth. I create all this. I create all this because these days the goal of the modern world right now or society is basically to break young men. Heck, if you feel like you enjoy my content, by the way, I have like a vlog I create every single day. I document everything I do. It started becoming him. If you like it, feel free to subscribe to that channel. So, like I said, share this video with somebody else who you know will find it helpful. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.